Many people admire discipline when they see the results. The fit body. The successful career. The calm confidence. But almost no one sees the thousands of quiet decisions that came before it. The early mornings when no one was watching. The small habits repeated day after day. The moments when someone chose progress over comfort. From the outside, discipline often looks like talent, luck, or natural strength. But in reality, it grows much more quietly than that. Not in dramatic breakthroughs. Not in loud declarations. But in the ordinary choices we make every single day. In this video, we're going to explore how discipline actually grows, not through bursts of motivation, but through small systems, habits, and identity shifts that slowly shape who we become. Because the truth is simple. Real discipline doesn't appear overnight. It grows in silence. We often look at disciplined people and think, how do they do it? Whether it's the athlete who reaches the Olympics, the entrepreneur who builds a business from scratch, or someone who simply sticks to a diet for months. Self-discipline seems like the magic ingredient, the personality trait that separates successful people from everyone else. But here's a truth that might change your perspective: self-discipline is not a genetic gift. It's not something you're born with or without. In reality, it's a matter of habits. The problem is that many people rely blindly on willpower to stay on track. And when willpower fails, because it always does eventually, they blame their lack of discipline. But what if the real issue is how we use that tool? If you constantly force yourself to do things you hate using nothing but raw discipline as a whip, two things happen. First, you probably won't do those tasks as well as you could. Second, sooner or later, you'll burn out. Discipline based purely on brute force is like pushing a car with your own legs. You can do it for a while, but it's exhausting, and it won't last long. The real secret is shifting your focus. Instead of concentrating only on the effort of the task, focus on what you gain by completing it. What is the final goal? What do you truly hope to achieve? When you connect with your why, the deeper reason that moves you, a difficult task stops feeling like a burden and starts becoming a step forward. True motivation comes from within, fueled by the genuine desire to achieve something meaningful. Self-discipline can still help during difficult moments, when laziness shows up and obstacles feel overwhelming. But in the long run, purpose is what sustains the journey. Understanding this difference can determine whether you quit halfway, or make it all the way to the end. Many people see discipline as a destination. They think, once I become disciplined, then my life will change. Or they use discipline as a measuring stick to judge themselves. And of course, they almost always feel like they fall short. We often confuse discipline with willpower, and we constantly criticize ourselves for not having enough of it. But the truth is this: discipline is not a destination. It's not a personality trait you either have or don't have. Discipline is practice. And like any practice, it never truly ends, we simply get better over time. Developing this habit isn't easy. Our mental well-being, our upbringing, the habits we already have, and the circumstances of our lives all influence how we deal with self-control. But improvement is always possible. Just as we can learn to love ourselves or face our fears, discipline grows through deliberate practice. What doesn't help is comparing yourself to others. Constantly criticizing yourself for not being as disciplined as that person who wakes up at 5 a.m. only makes things worse. The better path is to stop seeing discipline as a character flaw and start seeing it as a tool to build the life you want. And what works for one person may not work for another. An athlete has one routine. A CEO has another. The secret is finding your way. Here are some practical strategies that can help. First, write down your goals. Put on paper where you want to be in 2, 5, or 8 years. Hang it somewhere visible. Studies have shown that students with higher levels of self-discipline were better able to focus on what truly mattered and reach their goals. A daily visual reminder makes a difference. And when you fail, because you will, don't torture yourself. Self-compassion is part of the process. Instead of blaming yourself, understand what happened and move forward. Start with small goals so you don't overwhelm yourself. Every small win builds confidence. Second, learn to prioritize. A well-organized task list helps structure your day. Put the most difficult or least pleasant tasks at the top. Do the things that require the most energy first. After that, everything else flows more easily. Third, know your weaknesses. If you know your phone distracts you, turn off notifications when it's time to focus. If you know you'll be tempted to go out on the weekend instead of working on something important, reschedule your plans. Don't fool yourself. Be honest about who you are and create strategies that prevent self-sabotage. Fourth, observe your impulses. Everyone feels the urge to escape discomfort. Set a timer and commit to working on a task for a specific amount of time. This helps you recognize when procrastination is trying to take over. Fifth, forgive yourself. Mistakes are not failures, they're lessons. No one is perfect. What matters is what you do after the mistake. In the end, discipline is about slowly expanding your comfort zone. Start with small steps, 30 minutes of focus, a 5-minute break, and gradually increase the challenge. The important thing is simple. Don't stop. Before we continue, if you enjoy reflections like this and want more ideas about discipline, habits, and personal growth, consider subscribing to the channel. And if this video resonates with you, a simple like helps it reach more people who might need this message. Now let me tell you something that took me years to learn. Motivation is a terrible life strategy. I used to be the kind of person who waited to feel like it before doing things. Want to go to the gym? I waited for motivation. Need to work on a project? I waited for inspiration. And what happened? Nothing. Because motivation is like the weather, it changes all the time. You can't rely on it. So I started paying attention to people who actually got things done. They weren't more motivated than I was. They didn't wake up every day excited and ready to conquer the world. But they had something else. Systems. Habits. Small routines that worked even on the days when laziness was loudest. Based on that, here are the habits I observed, and eventually adopted, to build real discipline. First, start ridiculously small. Most people think discipline means setting huge goals. They go from 0 to 100 in February, and collapse by March. Want to build a reading habit? Read 1 page per night. Want to exercise? Do 5 push-ups when you wake up. Sounds small. That's the point. When I started writing, my goal was just 1 sentence per day. 1. And you know what happens most of the time? Once you start, you usually keep going. But even if you don't, you still kept your promise. That tiny consistency builds the muscle of discipline far better than short bursts of motivated effort. Second, don't negotiate with yourself. This one is uncomfortable, but powerful. Disciplined people don't debate whether they're going to do something or not. They simply do it. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't wake up and debate whether you feel motivated to take care of your hygiene. You just do it. I used to spend mental energy every morning deciding whether I would work out. Now, the alarm rings and I get up. No discussion. My feelings don't get a vote in that decision. Third, design your environment. Disciplined people don't rely only on willpower. They prepare their environment so the right choice becomes the easiest one. Want to eat healthier? Prepare the salad in advance. Want to exercise in the morning? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. I do the same with writing. Before going to sleep, I open my laptop to a blank page with the date already written at the top. When I wake up, there are no barriers between me and starting. The less friction there is, the fewer excuses your brain can invent. Fourth, connect the habit to your identity. This shift changed everything for me. Instead of thinking, I want to write more, I started thinking, I am a writer. Instead of, I should exercise, I think, I'm someone who takes care of my body. It sounds subtle, but it changes everything. As James Clear wrote, stop worrying about the results and start worrying about your identity. Become the type of person who can achieve the things you want. When something becomes part of who you are, motivation stops being necessary. You do it because that's what you do. Most people who try to improve themselves fail. They buy courses, read books, and follow other people's systems with great enthusiasm, but soon they quit. Not because the systems are bad, but because those systems were not built for them. Each person has their own personality, strengths, and weaknesses. What works for one person may not work for another. The real secret is not copying someone else's system. It's building your own. A system designed specifically for you. And that's something no one can sell you. You have to create it yourself. Is it hard work? Yes. But it's the only way discipline grows quietly inside your daily life. Without depending on motivation or ready-made formulas. And when you build that system, something interesting happens. Discipline stops feeling like effort, and starts becoming part of who you are. It grows in silence, in small rituals, in invisible choices that no one sees. But the results? Those become visible to everyone. So if you're building discipline quietly, even when nobody notices, even when progress feels slow, you're doing something powerful. Because the truth is, the most important changes in life rarely happen in loud, dramatic moments. They happen in small, quiet decisions, the ones you make every day when nobody is watching. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it. Every time you choose progress instead of comfort. You're shaping the person you're becoming. And that process takes time. Some days will feel productive. Some days will feel frustrating. And some days will feel like nothing is changing at all. But if you keep showing up, even in small ways, those invisible efforts begin to compound. One day, people will see the results and think it happened suddenly. But you'll know the truth. It was built slowly, patiently, and quietly. Before we wrap up, if this video resonated with you, consider subscribing to the channel. Here on Quiet Improvement, we explore the quiet habits, mindset shifts, and disciplines that slowly transform our lives. And if you found value in this reflection, a simple like helps this message reach more people who might need it. Because in the end, the strongest discipline is the one built in silence. Thank you for spending these moments here with me. Keep taking those small, quiet steps forward. They matter more than you think. And wherever you are on your journey, I'm glad you were here today.